asterisk reference. You don't understand business at my level. The courtroom camera captured the exact moment a wealthy woman made the worst mistake of her life. Victoria Ashford Sterling, covered in diamonds and dressed in designer luxury, stood before Judge Judy and spoke the words that would completely destroy her case. Your Honor, you clearly don't understand how business works at your level. The silence that followed was overwhelming. What Victoria didn't realize was that Judge Judy had already done her research. She had court records in her possession, documents that would dismantle every lie Victoria was about to tell. What unfolded in the next 15 minutes became one of the most replayed moments in Judge Judy history, watched by millions across the world, because this wasn't just about unpaid wages. This was the moment when wealth met wisdom, when arrogance met undeniable evidence, and when one woman learned a lesson she would never forget. Never underestimate Judge Judy. It was a quiet Tuesday morning in her courtroom. At first glance, the case seemed ordinary. The state versus Victoria Ashford Sterling. The plaintiff, Emma Rodriguez, 52 years old, a housekeeper claiming $8,500 in unpaid wages. Sybil, at least on paper. But the moment Victoria stepped into the courtroom, it was clear this case would be anything but simple. She walked in, wearing a Chanel suit worth more than most people's monthly rent. In her hand, a $15,000 Hermes handbag, placed deliberately on the table, like a symbol of status. Diamonds sparkled under the courtroom lights. Earrings, bracelet, rings. Everything about her presence sent one message: power, wealth, superiority. She glanced at her phone as she walked, clearly annoyed to even be there. When asked to silence it, she rolled her eyes and dropped it into her purse with visible irritation. Her posture said it all. She believed she was above everyone in that room, including the judge. At 42, she had never worked a day in her life. She married a multi-millionaire real estate tycoon at 25, and had spent years living in a world where money solved everything and consequences didn't exist. But Judge Judy's courtroom played by different rules. Standing across from her was Emma Rodriguez, dressed in simple black pants and a white blouse. Her cleaning uniform, no jewelry, no luxury. Just a worn binder filled with documents. Her hands trembled slightly. Not from fear, but from the weight of finally being heard. Emma had spent 30 years working. An immigrant from El Salvador, she built her life through hard work and sacrifice. She supported her family, helped her daughter through college, and endured years of being overlooked. She wasn't intimidated by wealth. She was tired of being invisible. Judge Judy entered the courtroom, and everyone rose. At 78, she was a legal legend. Decades of experience. Thousands of cases. A reputation for seeing through lies instantly. She had seen it all. Every excuse. Every manipulation. Every deception. And she tolerated none of it. What Victoria didn't know was that Judge Judy had already reviewed everything. And the thick folder resting on her bench contained the truth. Judge Judy adjusted her glasses and began. Mrs. Ashford Sterling. Miss Rodriguez claims she worked for you for 2 years, and that you owe her $8,500 in unpaid wages. Is that correct? Victoria didn't hesitate. She dismissed the claim with a casual wave. I have multiple homes, and many employees. I can't remember everyone. Judge Judy slowly removed her glasses. So you're saying she worked for you? Victoria paused, then tried to recover. People come and go. But this woman, I don't recognize her. Judge Judy turned to Emma. Your evidence. Emma opened her binder. Photographs, messages, schedules, images of her working inside the home, text messages with detailed instructions. A consistent weekly routine. Witness testimony. Everything documented. The photos were clear. Time-stamped. Victoria laughed. A cold, dismissive sound. With all due respect, Your Honor, you probably don't understand managing a household at this level. Judge Judy's expression hardened. I've been practicing law longer than you've been alive. Try me. But Victoria didn't stop. She continued speaking in a condescending tone. Judge Judy's voice became quieter, far more dangerous. I understand perfectly. Continue. Emma presented more messages, specific instructions spanning 2 years. Judge Judy examined them carefully. And you still claim you don't remember her? Victoria shifted, but remained defiant. If she worked for me, there would be proper documentation. There isn't. Emma raised a check. One payment. $700. After that, she paid me in cash. Judge Judy studied it. Victoria interrupted again. You don't understand high-level financial strategies. Cash payments are common. The courtroom fell silent. Judge Judy removed her glasses once more. So, you're admitting to avoiding taxes? Victoria faltered, then tried to deny it, and then made her biggest mistake. You're taking the word of a cleaning lady over mine. Judge Judy leaned back slightly. I'm taking evidence over arrogance. But Victoria kept going, confident that her wealth would outweigh the truth, until Judge Judy reached beneath her bench and placed a thick manila folder on the desk. Do you know what this is? Victoria shrugged. No. These are public records. Records I reviewed before you entered my courtroom. For the first time, Victoria's confidence cracked. One by one, the truth emerged. Previous lawsuits. Settlements. The same pattern repeated. Hiring workers, paying them in cash, then refusing to pay, again and again and again. Each document tore apart her story. Her voice began to shake. Her composure collapsed. Judge Judy continued. I see a pattern. A deliberate exploitation of vulnerable workers. Victoria tried to defend herself, blaming the workers, claiming they preferred cash. Judge Judy looked at her with disgust. So now they're the criminals? Emma sat quietly, tears in her eyes. Not from fear, from validation. Finally, someone saw the truth. Judge Judy closed the folder. You walked in here assuming I was foolish. You thought she wasn't prepared. You were wrong. Victoria broke down, crying, desperate. I'll pay double, triple, anything. Judge Judy's response was immediate. No. Emma stood taller. I don't want extra. I want what I earned. Judge Judy nodded, then delivered the verdict. $8,500 in unpaid wages, plus $8,500 in punitive damages. Total. Gasps filled the courtroom, but Judge Judy wasn't finished. The case would be referred for tax fraud investigation, labor violations, public record, no confidentiality. Victoria collapsed into her chair, her world falling apart. Emma stood strong, victorious. Judge Judy turned to her. You did everything right. Evidence matters. Then one final look at Victoria. You had every advantage and chose to exploit others. That's not a mistake. That's character. Get out of my courtroom. And just like that, was over. Victoria walked out in silence. Emma walked out with dignity. Within hours, the video spread across the internet. Millions watched. Millions agreed. Justice had been served, because, in the end, wasn't money that mattered. It was truth. And in Judge Judy's courtroom, truth always wins.